Valentine's Day started as a bloody Roman festival where people whipped each other with goat skins for fertility. Sounds wild. But is that actually where our roses and chocolates holiday comes from? Today, I'm digging into the messy, surprisingly modern origin of February 14th. First, the saints. There wasn't just one Valentine. Early Christian records mention at least two, maybe three, martyrs named Valentine, a priest in Rome, a bishop in Terni, both said to have been executed in the 3rd century under Emperor Claudius II. The stories are dramatic: secret weddings for soldiers, a farewell note signed from your Valentine, a miraculous healing of a jailer's daughter. Do historians trust these tales? Not really. They're late, tangled, and probably legendary. What we can say is this: by the late 5th century, Pope Gelasius I set February 14th as the feast of Saint Valentine. The day was on the calendar, but it wasn't about romance. So, where does love enter the chat? For centuries, it didn't. The key turn arrives in the Middle Ages, in England and France, with the culture of courtly love. Think poetry, pageantry, highly stylized flirting. In the 1380s, Geoffrey Chaucer wrote a poem called Parlement of Foule, connecting Saint Valentine's Day to birds choosing their mates in spring. Poets loved that image. Soon the date starts popping up in verses as a time for lovers to exchange lines, tokens, and promises. Not goatskin whips. Which brings us back to the famous Roman festival, Lupercalia. It was real, mid-February, involving rites meant to purify the city and promote fertility. Did the church replace Lupercalia with Valentine's Day? It's tempting, but experts disagree. Yes, Gelasius did move against Lupercalia in the late 400s. But there's no solid evidence that the Christian feast was intentionally grafted onto it, let alone that our romantic customs are a sanitized version of the old rite. In short, the Lupercalia connection makes a great headline, but it's probably myth. By the 1400s, people in Europe were trading actual Valentines. We even have surviving notes, like a 1415 letter from Charles, Duke of Orléans, to his wife while he was imprisoned in the Tower of London. These were handmade lines of affection, poems, riddles, little drawings. Cupid, borrowed from Roman mythology inspired by the Greek Eros, became a popular mascot, mischievous, winged, and armed with arrows. The big boom? The Victorian era. In 1840, Britain's penny post made mailing cheap. Suddenly, you could send a secret card across town without a courier. Mass-produced Valentines exploded. Lace paper, embossed flowers, printed verses. In the United States, entrepreneurs like Esther Howland popularized ornate cards in the 1840s and 1850s. So if you've heard the claim Hallmark invented Valentine's Day, that's a myth too. The tradition was already thriving long before 20th century greeting card companies scaled it up. What about the saintly relics? Valentine's skull in Rome, or bones in Dublin and elsewhere? Medieval churches often shared relics to attract pilgrims. Multiple sites claiming pieces of Valentine isn't unusual. It's evidence of devotion, not a clear historical map of one person's remains. While we're myth-busting, here's a small one. The X in XOXO, meaning kiss. One origin story points to people who couldn't write signing with an X in medieval Europe, then kissing the mark to show sincerity. It's a neat tale, with some plausibility, but like many Valentine legends, it's hard to prove definitively. So, if I bundle it all together, what is Valentine's Day actually? It's a medieval literary innovation. Chaucer and his circle linking a winter saint's feast to springtime pairing, supercharged by the Victorian postal revolution and later by modern marketing. The saints exist in the background, the Roman festival sits on a separate track, and the romance lives in poems, letters, and cards. Does that make it less special? I don't think so. It makes it more human. Every generation reshapes traditions. Today, some people celebrate partners, others celebrate friends, family, or themselves. The core is the same, a ritualized excuse to say, "You matter. Here's my cheat sheet."